Hey there. So popped out in the garden today to get a few things done. I just did a big transition, pulled out a bunch of stuff to make space really for the fall garden. And I also grabbed a bunch of my seeds. So I have a whole bunch of seeds. I'm gonna do a video, hopefully that'll come out somewhere maybe before or right after this one, with like all the seeds that I'm starting in September and kind of like more details on these varieties. But right now I'm looking through and trying to pick out some seeds to plant in a few different spaces. I need to re-sow a few things because I did have some issues with some slugs. I am now armed with some slug bait, and so that'll hopefully help. You can see I've got like the broom and everything. We're just fully in working mode today. But I want to get a few seeds in the ground because we're actually supposed to get like some rain over the next few days. So I think it would be great to really get some of these seeds sown. I'm gonna do some carrots and I'm gonna throw in a few peas. This is really a great time to start the fall garden. A few more peas here too. These Spring Beauty Blush, which are like really pretty. It's mid-September, and so the days are starting to get cooler. We've got some rain coming, as I said, which is exciting to see. And so it's a great time to get some of these things in the ground. I need to pull out like some lettuces to re-sow. Okay, I'm gonna flip the camera around. I've got 3 beds that I'm gonna be planting seeds in, and I'll show you which seeds I'm pulling for each of those beds. For my spring and summer garden, I usually make more of a plan, but honestly, this year for the fall garden, I really didn't come up with anything. I'm gonna do a little bit of dill and a little bit of this oric in a corner of my like furthest back bed where it really just still has a lot of flowers in it. But I'll put these 2 in there just to create like a little bit of just a little something growing. I have a lot of mustard. These actually are going to go in my green stock. I'm going to have to do a whole video with green stock planting because I got a bunch of things that I want to put in there. Like Swiss chards and cressy greens and more collards. Okay, and Alyssa, a lot of things going in the green stock. But I will do a little bit of cilantro in my main bed. Chamomile and dill I'm going to do over there in that 3rd bed. This is one of my main beds next to the arch trellis, so I'm going to put in some beans. These are Green Beauty Blush, which are really pretty snow pea, not beans. I said that wrong. Snow pea. So we'll do some of that. Containers. Yeah, I'm just going to sort through all these and figure out what I'm doing. All right, so this is the first bed that we're planting into. I've shown this a couple times in the last couple videos. I put down a little bit of slug bait, and I'm gonna go ahead and re-sow in some more bunching onions. We'll see if we can get this to go. Re-sow these carrots, re-sow the lettuce, pop in a few more peas. The Swiss chard back there is holding out. I will probably put some more, like I've been spraying it with BT to try to keep the caterpillars off of it. And I've got to pull out all of these little tomato seedlings. But yeah, just the process of re-sowing, which is kind of a bummer, but what are you going to do? Actually, this lettuce is really ready to harvest. I like to harvest it at this point for salads. There's a little bit of like, looks like maybe spider mite damage, but that's okay. And then I'm still leaving these in this bed because they're so pretty. So I'm not going to try to pull out any of that right now. I'm just going to get the whole bed re-sown, and then that'll be good. And then I'll give it a good dose of slug bait, which I've talked about like on Instagram too. I hate to do it, but you just have to in this area. Otherwise you don't get a harvest, and it is for organic garden. So like the BT, it's an organic bacteria that's native to the soil, and it's just something that gets rid of the slugs. So I've been doing really, really well with slug damage this year. I actually switched all my mulch to this cedar mulch, and I think that helped, but not enough to completely solve the issue. What are you gonna do? do this bed here, and I put in a few beets. You might have seen me popping them just like in places, but I think I ended up ripping some of them out, which happens when you're you know, cleaning the bed out, so that's okay. And then unfortunately I put in these lettuces, but when I had them in here, I had a bunch of beans in this area, and so they would look beautiful, healthy starts, and then the beans really got going, and like I think they just got shrouded. So I am going to put this really pretty Merlot lettuce in here. I'm actually gonna do a bunch of little Marvel garden peas. So these like a short, like dwarf size pea, so they don't need a trellis or anything, and I think they'll be really cute along the front of the bed. And then I'm gonna do some green beauty blush just on the trellis over here. I've got a few peas started. I'm just gonna put a couple seeds in there. And then, yeah, and then a little bit of cilantro just right over here to see if I can get that started, because these are mustard greens. These are Morris heading collards. These are all going to turn into huge, huge plants. So I don't want to just overfill the bed too much and make it too crazy. But this way, at least there's like a little bit more going, and then I think that'll be basically full for this bed, which will be awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all of those planted and try to clean up any like dead leaves and things that I'm seeing around here. I may, you know, I'm just gonna pull these seedlings. They just look so bad. We'll just start fresh. And I'm gonna leave like, so this is where a tomato was. I'll just leave that stem in there in the ground, and then in the spring when I come to do my spring clean out, that's when I'll remove like the big root systems and stuff. I'll just let any of these little tomato roots break down in the soil and then pull all that out later. All right, so we got that bed all set. Now this bed, I've been planting some successions of arugula. You can see one of them here. So I'll do another maybe row of arugula. I'm gonna try to do a little watercress along this edge and just see what happens. And then I actually wanna plant, I got this radicchio, and I wanna try to plant that along the back and see if I can get that to grow. I've never grown radicchio, and I think it'd be so interesting to try. And then let's see, and then I have Lancelot okay on the feathery frills. I might throw just a couple more seeds in and around here. And then I did pull out this corn salad. This guy, I don't know if I really have room, but maybe I'll just do a little bit down the middle and we'll see. This is kind of a small plant though. Actually, I'll do a little bit along the front because this is very short, but a really nice, yummy little salad green. And so just kind of fun to have. So we'll do the corn salad along the front and see if we can get that happening. Okay, this is exciting. Let's get this planted. All right, that bed is planted. I'm using up a lot of seed packets that I've had for a while too, which is good. And so now I just need to go grab my Sluggo Plus and sprinkle that around. Since the whole bed is already infested, you just have to like sprinkle it just in and around the plants. Okay, and then the last bed, I'm just gonna kind of make a mix of these guys and just toss them in here, just in this little corner where I have space. Actually, I don't think I'm gonna do the oric. I might put this in the green stalk, but I'm gonna leave that out. I'm just gonna do some dill and chamomile. Just throw it in the corner and kind of see what happens. Hopefully they come up. I've never really grown dill in the fall. I think it's supposed to do well in a little bit of cooler temperatures, and so I'm excited to try this out and just kind of see how it goes. But anyways, that's my fall planting. Really, that's a big bulk of it. A lot of seeds. I may come in, you know, as things come up, as we see how it goes with the pests. If I need to come in and get like some starts from the garden center, things like that, I will go ahead and do that as we kind of get further on. But this at least is a good big start. And now I'm just going to turn on the water and water it all in once I get these guys planted, and that's it. So thank you so much for hanging out and watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.